everyone, welcome back to Free Your Mind Friday. I'm Dr. Napasha Gettings. Thank you for joining me. It's September, and September happens to be our National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So this month we're going to spend some time learning more about healthy brain functioning and also learning how our body works. I find that a lot of people just don't have a clue as to how their body works. And one of the best ways to prevent depression and other emotional imbalances and mood disorders that can lead to a person having a high risk of depression is learning how the body works, not just the brain, but other biological systems that exist within. If you're not aware of our core 12 biological systems, and if you can't name them and explain what they do to another person, then I'm going to encourage you to visit my website, clarionconscious.com, for a little review. There are a couple of videos there that are dedicated to learning and understanding our 12 biological systems. So today we're going to focus primarily on the central nervous system, which most of you know houses the brain and the spinal cord. And our central nervous system has a lot of roles in the human body. And we're going to go through a couple of terms that are key to understanding how our central nervous system works. So I want you to think about the body as almost kind of like a chemistry lab. Our body makes a lot of different chemicals that function within. And some of these chemicals also carry an electric charge. So two of the major chemicals that exist in our central nervous system are called neurotransmitters and also neuropeptides. And so the backbone of a lot of these chemicals are from proteins. So I'm sure you can imagine, since that word has already been dropped, by the end of this video we're going to be talking about some things that you can incorporate in your diet to make sure that you are giving yourself a fighting chance towards avoiding depressive states or low emotional states. So that being said, our neurotransmitters, we've got a lot of them. There's a doctor by the name of Candace Pert who actually passed away in 2013. She's a neuroscientist. She's written a couple of books that educate us about the chemistry of emotion, basically breaking down different emotions, how they affect our body, and the chemical responses that our body has when we experience certain emotions. So emotions really are chemical messages that send information to our 12 biological systems. So let's take, for instance, when we're in danger. When we're in a situation where we experience danger, the emotion that generates is fear. When we experience that emotion, there are tons of signals that are sent throughout the body in order for our body to prepare for a dangerous situation. So some of the messages that are sent trigger our immune system, trigger our endocrine system, that's the hormones, where our adrenal glands will start to pump out adrenaline. We also start to produce more cortisol, and we need those chemical responders in that moment in order to respond in an appropriate way. Well, what we know, however, is that a lot of us who've been subjected to abuse and abusive environments, like myself, over time we make way too much adrenaline and way too much cortisol. We can even become what's called adrenaline junkies, okay, where we literally attract into our lives toxic situations that will give us that same biochemical response. And it's not until you understand how this all works on the cellular level that you can start to be more aware of some of your behaviors that may have become chronic and unhealthy over time. So I'm giving you that as an example so that we can shift our focus to talking a little bit about a neurotransmitter that's known as serotonin. Now, many of you may have heard of serotonin before. It is heavily linked with mood, gut function. As a matter of fact, a ton of our serotonin receptors are actually housed in the gut. Our gut has a ton of neurons as part of our enteric system that helps us with digestion and processing foods. So serotonin has a couple of roles in the body. It helps with mood, it helps with digestion, it helps with sex drive. And a lot of people are lacking this neurotransmitter in the body, some because of unhealthy dietary habits. So tryptophan happens to be one of the major amino acids, one of the essential amino acids that are necessary in order for our body to make serotonin. So therefore, if we don't have enough tryptophan, we're not going to make healthy levels of serotonin. That alone can lead to depressive episodes and anxiety. Things that are really healthy in your environment that are high in tryptophan, including certain foods, are important for us to incorporate on a daily basis, like spirulina, chia seeds, even turkey for those of us who eat meat. It is an essential amino acid that you can find in different foods like nuts and pumpkin, that if we don't have enough of it on a daily basis, we may find ourselves struggling with episodes of depression. It's also really important that throughout the year, especially those of us that live in areas with decreased amounts of sunlight, that we understand the correlation between serotonin levels and the amount of sun exposure that we get. So there's a lot of research that has gone into understanding this neurotransmitter, understanding its role in depression, and making sure that we all have healthy states of serotonin. There are also other chemicals in the body that help to elevate our mood and keep us out of depressed states. Dr. Candace Pert, the neuroscientist that I mentioned earlier, she's actually the first person to discover our opiate receptors. So these are natural receptors in the brain that respond to healthy chemicals known as endorphins. Endorphins are our natural painkillers. We create them within when we engage in certain healthy, blissful activities. Some of you may be aware of opiate abuse and heroin addiction. This is the same receptor that certain drugs trigger that lead to addiction. So the truth is, this receptor exists because we have the ability through certain lifestyle habits, diet, exercise, regular physical activity to increase these endorphins and overall help our emotional states. So I want everyone to take some time to maybe take a look at some of her work. Dr. Candace Pert, again, PhD neuroscientist, she wrote 2 books that deal with the molecules of emotion, and also another book called Everything You Need to Know to Feel Good. So these are really, really good reads that I want to encourage the audience to take a look at. The truth is, if we don't know how to take care of ourselves, we're going to find ourselves in unhealthy situations. We don't learn this information in school. Schools have failed us when it comes to learning about how to take care of the human body. Sure, we may get a course or 2 in biology and chemistry, etc. A lot of times it's not applicable to real day, lifetime situations. And we're bombarded on a daily basis with a lifestyle that takes away from the restoration of this body, okay? And so I don't want anyone to undermine or lose sight of the fact that you are your most prized possession. You can't even help another person if you don't know how to take care of yourself. I believe that it is the duty of health professionals, mental health professionals, to teach the public about how to take care of themselves. Serotonin is just one of several neurotransmitters that function in the brain. Now, most people have heard about different diagnoses like major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, but they don't understand the chemical breakdown and how to treat some of these conditions naturally. We know that medications exist. As a matter of fact, one of the most common medications that are used to treat chronic depression are referred to as serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Simply what they do is allow for more availability of serotonin in the central nervous system. There are also herbs and supplements that can do this for you, like St. John's wort and 5-HTP, which is another form of tryptophan. It's important that we understand what tools we have in our natural environment to help integrate wellness into our everyday lifestyle. I'm going to be coming here every week this month to talk to everyone more about suicide, how to prevent it, how to treat depression. The one thing that you all have to understand is that emotions have to be dealt with. Emotions can't be ignored. Candace Pert said, if you don't deal with your emotional states, especially the negative ones, you're stewing in your own juices. And over time, the body, which she surely believed was our subconscious mind, will start to reveal those things that we haven't dealt with and we haven't released on an emotional level. I want everyone to get excited about taking care of yourself on a daily basis. I want you to know that this is not some far-reaching information that you can't understand or that you need a doctorate degree in order to take home with you and practice yourself and share with your loved ones. This is basic knowledge that we all should be taught. So I'm going to come here every week, educate, motivate, and inspire every last one of you to take some crucial steps to maintaining your health and wellness. Remember, serotonin helps and is key with preventing depression. Go out today, do some of your own research, check out Candace Pert's books, look up some information about the neurotransmitter serotonin and ways that you can make sure that you have healthy levels of it in your everyday life. And make sure you follow me on social media, Natasha T. Gettings, MD. Please do share this video and visit my website, clarionconscious.com, for more Free Your Mind Friday videos where I'm bringing you information that will help you live a better, healthy life. Thank you and be well.